Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Chris back with another video that's really rooted in sneakers, NIL, college basketball, and what happens when a star athlete falls into a situation that's beyond their control, especially when that star athlete is still a teenager. But this is in regard to Mikey Williams. So, why isn't Mikey Williams in uniform at the University of Memphis? And where can this go? Now, I bring this up because the star athlete, there was this fantastic interview on Jason and John's show, which is a Memphis-based radio show, and they had the lawyer on to speak about Mikey Williams and what's happening now. A lot of things were clarified, and we got this information, and I was like, oh, wow, this is something to write about. So here we go. Mikey Williams, right? And you see him over here at the bottom, incredible young basketball player. He was slated to attend the University of Kansas. It's an Adidas school. But as with many high-profile recruitments, he was also coveted by Penny Hardaway and the University of Memphis Tigers. Now, he decided to attend Memphis because of the rich legacy of Coach Hardaway, and that's understandable. I mean, you think about it, that's little Penny. And Coach Hardaway, as a Nike athlete and his experience in the NBA, that's almost a deciding factor for any player when you think about it. But more important, Memphis has this amazing history of combo guards. Derrick Rose, DeJuan Wagner, and you can kind of go through the list. Even these people that played in the 80s and 90s, the Andre Turners, and you go all the way up to Penny Hardaway himself. While Derrick Rose and DeJuan Wagner played for Coach Cal, they wore that Memphis uniform. So there's this history of these amazing guards that play at the University of Memphis. Now, the attractiveness of playing for the man who inspired one of the most amazing marketing campaigns and sneaker lines in the history of footwear and had a long career as a point guard in the NBA, it just kind of makes it understandable why Mikey chose to come to Memphis. Now, Mikey's decision was bolstered by the fact that Coach Penny was unwavering in his support of the kid over the course of the year of that criminal complaint that originated in San Diego. So as the noise became louder around Mikey, Coach Penny doubled down in support of the kid. He never stopped supporting Mikey. Hardaway had every opportunity to move on, right? Every opportunity to move on, but he didn't. He's been supportive of Mikey in every interview that he's done since. So on the Jason and John show, Mikey Williams' lawyer, Troy P. Owens, stated that Mikey wants to compete this year. Now, everybody knows Coach Penny would love for the kid to be competing this season. But there's something interesting that seems to be taking place. The administration at the University of Memphis might be the wall in the middle of the road. Now, consider that Memphis is getting a midseason transfer in Naquan Tomlin. And the idea that Mikey could be a disruption to this team, you got to put that to rest. If there's another midseason transfer coming in, Mikey wouldn't be that much of a disruption. And he would actually bolster that team, much in the way that Devin Booker coming off the bench at Kentucky did. And I'm going to say something about that. The University of Memphis, right? They just made it into the top 25. They had the potential to have one of the most explosive guards in college basketball as an option immediately. And that makes it likely that that team will skyrocket in the rankings. Mikey Williams provides Memphis the exact same thing that Devin Booker supplied to the University of Kentucky. So why is Mikey not on the court? According to the attorney of Williams, the plea isn't a viable offense in Memphis. So that idea of criminal threats, which is what his case had been reduced to in San Diego, it doesn't have any bearing on anything in Memphis. Mikey completed anger management, gun safety courses. Now, the most important aspect was none of the charges could be proven, and Williams was on his own property at the time of these alleged infractions. So when you go down and you start looking at what's happening here, things seem to be in place for Mikey to be back on the court. But check out the things that Mikey has lost because of everything that happened. He lost a Puma contract. Who knows how much money that was? The time on the court is affecting his draft status. You're not playing, you begin to drop. He lost out on coaching and support from Penny Hardaway and the college. Now, all of these things around Mikey Williams could be considered in the same vein as Ja Morant. But this is the difference. Mikey is a teenager, and I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because it's so absurd. Mikey's a teenager who's had to live the life of a professional athlete in the most difficult time in history for kids who have to deal with social media and a life lived online. In a world where you got kids that run around and snatch and grab from stores and run internet scams for clout, protecting yourself when there's a threat shouldn't even be considered a crime. So you have to ask this question. Could it be that the University of Memphis doesn't want to disrupt their momentum as a college basketball team? Nah, not really. Penny has all but stated that he wants Mikey on the court. Now, he can't really do a whole lot because Mikey's online, right? He's not a part of the program officially. He's not even on scholarship. So when I say the things that he lost, I didn't even include the fact that the kid lost his scholarship. But check out what this dude has done while dealing with all these issues around that criminal complaint. He's maintained an almost perfect GPA in online courses at the University of Memphis. He's still enrolled, and he's in great academic standing after being enrolled. And that shows incredible maturity. Kid's 19, man. He's completed most of the requirements of the criminal complaint for the city of San Diego. And Mikey's character really should never be an issue. The kid, even before he committed to Memphis, hosted camps in Tennessee where he donated over $30,000 in gear to kids. Mikey sponsored basketball teams via the revenue he generated through NIL deals. Here's a kid who has to behave like a pro and is treated like an adult when he's still 19 years old. What I think is Williams is facing, he's a victim of bad timing. With the NBA and Ja Morant's case and that suspension, Mikey may be kind of facing a situation where the University of Memphis, not Penny Hardaway, the University of Memphis is impeding his return to the court. Now, this wouldn't be unfamiliar territory for the University of Memphis. Long before Penny Hardaway came on board at Memphis, Keelan Lawson, Coach Keelan Lawson, who sent 4 talented and highly ranked basketball players, his sons, to the University of Memphis, Keelan was made the assistant coach at Memphis. Now, while a bunch of people thought that it was suspect that Lawson would get the job when 2 of his sons were signing with the college, the reality is I covered Coach Lawson. If you go on this YouTube station, you can find a highlight video from his season where he had a perfect record and sent the majority of that team all went to D1 schools. It was one of the most amazing runs as a high school basketball coach in the history of the state of Tennessee, and the team was nationally ranked. He was an incredible coach. So when people said that it was University of Memphis paying favors and bringing him aboard to coach, it couldn't have been more farther from the truth, because he was more than qualified. Now, at that time when Lawson became the coach, he got demoted after Josh Pastner left, and they brought in Tubby Smith. So amidst all of that turmoil, Coach Keelan Lawson, and he literally he faced all of this pushback from the university, and the university lied to him about his job. And it was a big thing. It was big enough that if you see over here right behind me up above, you can see it's talking about the reassigning of Coach Lawson during that Tubby Smith era. That treatment of Coach Lawson and his family literally led to the next two kids of his who went to Memphis leaving the college as well. So all four of his kids signed with Memphis. All four of his kids left Memphis, went to different Division I schools. That treatment by the administration has long been discussed in Memphis as evidence of the University of Memphis administration hiding behind rules to justify the treatment of athletes, coaches, and parents. Could the university be behind the slow implementation of Mikey back into the program because of the negativity around Ja Morant? Is there a trickle-down situation taking place from the NBA to the college level? When will Mikey Williams get back on the court? Could this treatment of Mikey by the University of Memphis actually lead to Mikey Williams going to the OTE route, overtime elite route? Could he reopen his recruitment? Now, on the Jason and John show, the lawyer stated explicitly that Mikey wants to play here. But there are other options that are available as well. Will a sneaker company like New Balance step in and do what they did with Darius Baisley? If you don't remember, Darius Baisley had the internship at New Balance for a whole year before he got drafted. The ball is basically in the court of the University of Memphis. Now, if we have this kind of history with the Lawson family and these different things that have happened over the years, will the university change their gears and allow a young man who's done everything right to participate? If the university does not, I know what could happen, and that is negative recruitment by other colleges. And that could hurt the University of Memphis long term. It's something to think about. Why is Mikey Williams not back on the court? That's it. Let me know what you guys think if you're into this type of information and content. I just thought it was really compelling and wanted to write a post about it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. All the links to the articles that you see here are down in the description. Talk to you guys on the next one.